In this video, I'm going to show you how I've been managing to balance between quality and also speed when it comes to delivering work to my clients. Because one thing that I've understood in this business is that if you can deliver quality sites, or if you can deliver quality work as well as in time, right, then it means you are already ahead of everyone else. And there are certain tools, or there are many tools out there that one can actually use. But one thing that I've realized, or one thing that I've mastered, is that with whatever that you're doing, there must be a process behind the scenes that will then help you to deliver consistently good results, right? So in this video, I'm going to show you my step-by-step process on how I've been managing this, as well as some of the things that I believe if you start applying, right, they will actually help you in delivering quality and also delivering with speed. Because these clients that we deal with, they want someone who can deliver great work as well as in no time. So let's get into it, right? So when I was starting my journey as a designer, as a developer, I have understood one thing: you cannot be a jack of all trades, right? Yes, some may debate, no, you need to do everything, you need to, but I believe as you climb up the ladder, you need to start specializing, right? And the first thing that I've done was to actually niche down. After working on so many projects, I literally told myself that I'm going to niche down, right? And by niching down, it wasn't a matter of saying I don't know how this industry works or what, but I wanted to understand more and also go a little bit deeper in trying to know the ins and outs of one industry, and also their pains, their problems, such that whenever I'm delivering my work, I'm actually hitting the nail on the spot, right? So I stay here in Cape Town, and if you are here in Cape Town, you obviously know there are so many service businesses out there, right? And these service businesses, their owners, the owners of these service businesses, some of them, they're not even technical, and some of them, they don't even have the time to actually sit down and come up with a proper website, from Google business profile to a proper website to these CRM systems. They don't have that time, and hence I told myself I'm going to be the niche to them, right? I'm going to offer my services to them. Hence now I had to niche down. So my niche, I actually went with the service businesses, and for these service businesses, I just didn't pick everyone as well. I'd also niche down a bit, where I focused on cleaners, plumbers, and roofers, right? The reason why I did that is because these three niches and other ones that I've just left out, they actually share the same pain, which is fragmented processes and tools. You find that one business is running its operations on Excel when it comes to getting the numbers and all that. They have another quote or invoice generator somewhere. They also have WhatsApp on the side where they keep up the communications, then the website itself. So you find with all these things, right, they're not connected. Everything is fragmented. If you ask one business, they won't even know the numbers by head. They need to open up their Google Excel sheet. They need to bring receipts or to log into this invoice generator and all that. So this is exactly why I chose this, right? And with my background, the systems that I design, they actually fit into this particular niche, right? So this is the first thing and the second step on my processes is actually auditing, right? So I know most people, they just want to design websites. I design websites, but I've also realized that if you take time understanding one business, if you take time to understand where they're actually failing, right, for them to get to another point, you actually be at a better position. You will be actually in the top 1% of the people that business is going to hire. Why? Because whenever you reach out to them, you are not just selling them a website, you are selling them a solution to to something that they're actually suffering from, right? So this is how I do it, right? It's pretty straightforward. I just go, if I see that, okay, it's high time I need to target probably another cleaning company, I just go on Google Maps or on just Google that business, and I observe what I see there. These opportunities, this information is actually there for us. It's a matter of you understanding what to look out for and use that information at your advantage. So I go on Google Maps, I see a certain company, okay, they don't have a website, or they have a website, but that website is outdated. That's point number one. Then I also check their reviews. Are they receiving enough reviews? And on those enough reviews, are they good reviews? If there are also bad reviews, that's another opportunity there, right? Then out of all that information, I just feed it to Claude to say, look, I have got this information for this particular business. I need you to identify all the pains that they might be suffering from, as well as give me the opportunity gaps that I can actually, solve for them, right? So I do this part because I really want to understand what they're suffering from. And when I reach out to them, I actually know what I'm dealing with. I know the numbers. I know what they're actually suffering from. And 80% of the time when I actually reach out to these people, they never say no. They actually understand where I'm coming from. They see that, okay, this is not just another website designer, right? This guy knows what he's doing, and you can actually use this to your advantage. The information is already there on the internet, right? So that's another part. Now, this whole journey, this is actually a journey of us coming up with something, right? Because at the end, we want to come up with a system, we want to come up with the website, we want to come up with workflows that actually work for this particular business, well, using Claude Code at the end of the day, right? Now, this third step, I have to go for an inspiration hunt, right? This is a process where I go on the internet, I go on different platforms, trying to also see how others are doing out there. Because one thing that I've realized is that as designers, as developers, we also learn from others, right? It's something that I cannot shy away from, because for me to be where I am, I've been actually learning from other people in the industry. And when it comes to designing itself, I also need to do the same thing. So I go on platforms like Framer, 21st Devs Awards, just to see how other designers out there are creating their websites, how they're applying the psychology behind the customer himself for him to actually buy, or for him to actually be hooked, right? In the first 3 seconds, he laid his eyes on a website. I need to understand all those, the trending fonts, the trending animations. I cannot just create those things out of my head. I also need to see somewhere and customize them and bring them into my workflow. So this is what I do. I even go and read different blogs out there from high premium agencies that are out there, right? From Silicon Valley, from America, from anywhere, from Europe, from here in South Africa. I go on their websites, read the blogs, try to understand how also they are doing it, such that I bring those things also into my workflows. And it's something that you also need to do. Now, I have gathered the inspiration of whatever niche that I'm dealing with at that particular time, right? The next thing that I'm going to do right now is actually starting the design process. But before I even call out any AI tool to help me design these things, there are certain documents, there are certain folder structures that I need to maintain, such that when I bring any AI tool, it comes and fit into my existing processes, right? This has helped me to maintain quality. This has helped me to actually keep the brand, my brand test. If you look at my websites, they mostly look the same. They have they have more like a signature to them, right? So what do? I need first to create an MD file. These are MD files, right? I need to create MD files, and for these MD files, I have a business MD file, I have an instructions MD file, I have a memory MD file, and I have a design MD file, right? And if you really want to go deep in understanding how this work, I have actually created this video which you can actually go and browse through and understand how these MD files work. But in a nutshell, let me just take you through in a nutshell, right? The business MD file, this will contain all the information about that business, right? The business name, the industry, the services, the logos, their pains, all those things about that particular business, right? I'll put them in the business MD file. Now, the instructions MD file, this is the most important document in my project, right? Because it contains all the things that I want any tool that I'm going to bring to follow, right? This helps me for not getting generic outputs, poor quality, hallucinations, because we know all these tools, AI, at some point they actually do hallucinate. Right now we have the memory file. This is just a summary. Whenever I'm doing a task, I'm done with the task, the tool itself will actually go and summarize what would have done in that particular session or on that particular task. Right now, the design MD file. This MD file, remember the inspiration, the audit that we just did, right? It will have all those things, the layout, the fonts that we're going to use, the spacing, the typography, all those things, right? All the design elements that I want, how converting all the components and stuff, the animations, they will be set in this design file. So like I mentioned, if you want to go deeper into this, check out this video. It will actually help you understand. So now I then hand over everything to Claude Code, because I have done my part. I have done the research. I have done the audit itself. I know what I'm solving, the problem that I'm solving, and the solution that I need. I have done the inspiration. I know where to reference. Right now, I hand over everything to Claude Code. Now, the thing with Claude Code, right? Before you even tell it what to do, you need to know the model that you're going to use, right? Such that you don't pick the wrong model. Also, you don't waste tokens, because when it comes to models, each model has got its particular strength. Also, it has got its particular weaknesses, right? So you also need to keep that in mind. And for these models, I think I'll also make another video, but in the meantime, you can actually go to the Anthropic website here and you read about how these models work, right? Because they are ever evolving, they are ever changing, right? So I'll leave it to the Anthropic guys to actually do the work for you guys, right? So after we have given the work to Claude Code, it will design the first round. Usually the first round will come with like 70 to 80% work, which is almost exact with what you want. But this is also what these other people are not telling you. Sometimes these tools, they don't give us exactly what we want. Hence, you as a designer, you also need to know what you actually want, such that when it gives you generic outputs, you have to go back and forth and customize things as per your design or as per your, whatever that you want, right? And again, you don't need to be technical, guys. You just need to know the output that you want, and you go back and forth with the tool up until it gives you exactly what you want. Now, if you have watched this video up to now, right, what I'm going to tell you now will help you maintain the standard. It will help you maintain the consistency, because maintaining consistency, when you actually start to bring issues to do with speed and all that, it will be difficult. But with Claude Code, you can actually do that, right? So the back and forth of whatever that we have done, the process from actually researching, auditing, inspirations, designing, all that back and forth, we can bundle everything and make a skill out of it, right? Now, with skills, we are saying, take your workflow. If you know that, okay, I create websites almost every week, right? It means every week I'm repeating the same cycle, I'm repeating the same process. So at the end, I'll be wasting time when I actually get to client 2, client 3, because I'm repeating the same thing, right? So I'll then create a skill such that whenever I'm dealing with the same client in the same niche, I'll just call a skill for that niche. For cleaners, right, I have a skill for this particular niche, the cleaning niche, right? I also have a skill for the plumbing clients. I also have now a skill for the roofers, right? And other skills for coming up with documentations, contracts, and all those. I have created skills that I just call one prompt and it will regenerate everything. Now, when it comes to websites, right? If I'm working in the cleaning niche, right? Like I said, I have a skill for that. The only thing that I'll change is the business MD file, because this MD file has got the specifics of a certain business. So I need to tailor-made whatever that the skill will generate has to be based on this particular business, right? And that's that, right? The rest, you leave it to Claude. It will do whatever that it does in the background, and that's it. And this is the exact stuff that I've been doing for the past 6 months, right? Using skills to regenerate everything, and it has made me, like, I don't know, like, I've been fast when it comes to delivery. I've been maintaining consistent, the same quality, and my clients are happy. That's the most important thing. Whenever I reach out to a client, I already have the site in front of me. Whenever I go out for a meeting, I already have a solution in front of me, because I'm reusing the stuff that I've already done. Because remember, I picked up a niche. I now know what this niche needs. Sometimes, of course, I have to go back and forth, but it will be minimum, right? So this is all that I had with me today, guys. If you have enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, don't forget to share, and also turn on your notification bell. If you feel like you need extra information about creating skills, I'll leave all the links in the description below. And also just let me know in the comments what you want me to cover in the next video. So see you in the next one.